What's happening, everybody? It's Lucky 7. Beautiful Sunday morning. I'm up here in the foothills of Albuquerque at the top of Manal. It's the Embudo Trail and or Embudo Park, as it's so titled. And I just thought I'd get out here this morning. Actually, it's now around noon, so I'm running a little bit late. I kind of goofed off and I forgot to bring my water with me. I packed a full bag and I packed a big canteen to take full of water, and I left it behind. So that's kind of a bummer. And here's a little bit of a peek of the scenery that's around me. This trailhead, I like to come and kind of take a certain direction when I hike. I like to go ahead and walk around, and I'll show you here without making you too dizzy. Where those folks are walking there is kind of where I'm headed. I like to go up at this portion of the mountain and try and get up around in here and kind of be on top of the, maybe right in here. And there's a trailhead that's famously called in Albuquerque Whitewash. That's beyond the other side of that. And if you play your cards right, you end up just up on the top of that particular area. There's a lot of traffic on that Whitewash area, so I'm just trying to show folks that you can get out here and kind of do your part in the whole social distancing and so on, and enjoy some of these places. Very fortunate in Albuquerque to not be in a densely populated region of the United States. It kind of allows us in these kind of times to go and do these things. A lot of people up here today. There was a full parking lot. Anyway, I'm going to check in periodically and show some of the finer details. I'll talk about some beautiful cactus. This is my one of my favorite things about coming up here is I very much love cactus. You might even have seen me say so in a few of my other videos. I'm always looking at the beautiful cactus that are about. Ahead of us, it's the area that I'm going to try and traverse. It's pretty difficult. I don't know if the camera is doing it justice right there. There's probably a whole heck of a lot of ways that are easier to get up to the top of this area. But anyway, I'm not going to do those. Darned if I do anything the easy way. Definitely gonna be one of those videos up here in the high altitude where I'm like huffing and puffing and all that kind of good stuff. So bear with me during that time, but we're gonna give it a shot and see just how it goes right there. I'll try and tune in with some updates along the way as I make my way to the top of this thing. All right in there is about where I'm getting ready to start making my ascent to heaven. As it were. We'll see how it goes. Last time I did this, it took quite a while to get up there, and it got quite a few stops along the way. And there's areas, it might just look like a little hill from here. It's kind of weird, but once you get into it, you kind of realize the overall in-depthness that there is to ascending this thing. These rocks over here aren't messing around. Sometimes there's snakes in here and stuff. You really got to watch what you're doing and keep your wits about you and don't attempt anything that is overly foolish. A lot of loose gravel and different kinds of things like that to be aware of. This is definitely not the easy trail to way. It's not even really a trail. I would almost dare to say it's not really a trail this way, but I feel like it doesn't do a lot of harm to the land when I go up this way because I tend to use the rocks and not make myself too much of a trail. Yeah, so I'm barely just in only a little ways, and kind of realized one of the weird things about making your own way here is you run into areas you can't keep going the same way, and you gotta have to go ahead and bite the bullet and then go back a little bit way the way you came and kind of start over again a little bit. Here's a view of looks like Manal, or maybe that's Indian school. Going down. Gosh, man, I'm out of breath. I'm having to pace myself as I go along up here. I was called to mind this part of a movie that I enjoyed from when I was a kid called The Labyrinth. It's about this girl that goes to save her baby brother from like a wizard, and you've probably seen it, whatever, you know. But there's this part where she meets this guy in the labyrinth, and he says, oftentimes the way forward is the way back. Or sometimes, I don't know what he says. It's pretty funny though. Maybe he says, oftentimes the way forward is also the way back. So anyway, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going back and forth over here, zigzagging. I've ran into quite a few people up here on the foothills. It's kind of neat that people are getting out, but it is kind of dangerous up here. So I don't want to say that I advise exactly doing what I do in this video. And do it at your own, you know what I mean, risk. Don't do what I do. I'm a dummy, after all. I'm like 3/4 of the way of where I'm gonna go, I think, and then I need to like start trying to find my way down. I think I've been climbing for like an hour straight or something like that, and it feels like about 10 years or something. So I need to get back into shape. I used to be quite the athlete, if you would believe that. I had a very chiseled physique, and now I'm kind of a round guy. As things, what did they say back in the old days? The credit goes to the man in the arena, the doer of things. I think, who said that? Maybe Roosevelt? You know, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I always like that statement. But I think one day it's probably gonna get me killed. A long time ago, my mom used to make things out of these deceased cactus skeleton, if you will. Is there a special name for these? I don't know. She used to make a lot of things out of them. I used to like to grab one and put it on the dashboard of my truck for sort of ornamental purposes. Maybe I'll grab one before I leave here today. But my mom used to make like pot holders with, you know, like burlap kind of string and beads and so on. Kind of a hippie thing. So just over that way, kind of as I was promising before, there's the sort of open space parking that is and that bridge there in the distance. I'll try and zoom in. It's going to get jumpy the more I zoom in, so try and be steady here. But that area is where you park to come up here to Whitewash, which is a little area with like a stone wall where people like to go rappelling, and in general just like to walk up to that area. There's some folks coming down the hill, some other weary travelers. My goodness. So I'm almost as far as I'm gonna get today up here. I'm gonna set up shop and then kind of play around with a couple of the lenses that I brought with me. If you look in that direction over there, you might have to have a very keen eye, but there's a very vintage 1981 Dodge Ram that I've had my eye on. I think I might drive away in it when I leave here today. Well, there she is. That there be the Whitewash. Yep. I'm hanging off at the side of a big boulder right now. To be 100% honest, I'm pretty darn nervous about it. My goodness. Yikes. That there is Whitewash. There's actually little places that are, people been, you know, hammering stakes in the ground for many years and rappelling off of the side of that. It's a pretty neat thing. But my brother Danny and I used to come up here quite a bit. I used to come up here with the ex-girlfriend that I had. I went to high school with a lot, and come hiking with her and her friends and my friends. Learn about a lot about yourself when you start getting that freedom when you're a teenager and going out and seeing some cool stuff. But right now I'm pretty high up. The air is thinner up here, that's why I'm breathing real heavy. Some of these things just make me darn nervous though, to tell you the truth. There's a lot of loose rock and everything up here. There's no doubt about it. It's not just like a theme park over here. You know, your safety is not assured. So you really ought to do the best to play it safe if you come into this space. Now that doesn't mean you have to hike all the way up here like I did. There's all these kind of nature trails that run along the side, places to ride your bike down there. Might be hard to make out, but there's a dude riding his bicycle, somebody walking their dog, a couple with their kids out there. It's pretty neat. And here's a great big view of Albuquerque. Alright, so I made my way a little further up over here. I got a pretty good view of things. You know, I bought these lenses a little while back to kind of help do the you know, to add to the channel or whatever, and I've been experimenting with them. When I went out shooting on Route 66, I kind of pulled out the 14mm fisheye lens that I bought from a place called Moment, and they make some pretty good quality lenses for your cell phone, so you can do these kind of vlogging, different kinds of things. And I'm not using them all the time. I kind of feel like sometimes it's better just to whip out your cell phone and you know, not utilize any special gadgets or cameras or anything else, and just kind of use what you have and get out in the nature. I've always been told in my life from people who mean the most to me and who I've looked up to try and do your very best. And you know, so same thing goes across with this channel. And for anybody out there who's watching and wondering, I'm not like making any money off of these videos or anything else. They're just kind of hobby of mine, and it's kind of neat to think that a lot of people might watch them and kind of enjoy them that don't get out to these kind of places. Maybe they're shut in the house, or you know, whatever the reasons, or maybe it encourages them to go ahead and get out. So you know, my videos aren't monetized or anything. It's not to say that they won't ever be, because if they ever did get a lot of views and I could monetize them and had a lot of subscribers, then I'd be kind of a dummy not to. Then I could just turn around and use the money to, there again, bring the channel into the next level. You know, so just in case anybody wondered about that. Some of these clearings, they have it's really neat cactus, you know. These are kind of the pretty cactus that I like. I don't know. I like them all, but these little beds of cactus. Except I fell in one time. I came up here riding my bike probably over 10 years ago, 15 years ago, and I laid my bike right down into a patch of cactus just like that. Man, I was picking cactus out of everything. Out of my butt, you know, just everywhere. I don't recommend that. Some more beautiful cactus. There's a cool rock over there that has like a hole inside of it, and it looks like there's water inside. It's kind of a neat thing. I don't know if you can make it out from over here. That rock in front of us, it has like a hole in the top. Almost looks like there's a deposit of rainwater inside there. I think cactus quill have like kind of a venom inside too. Kind of make you itchy and hurt like a mother after they get you, you know. Serves me right, I guess, for not watching where I'm going. They were here before I was. Look at this beautiful tree. It's kind of fun. Look at these little baby cactus over here. It's kind of a neat thing. Those are just young ones. Baby cactus. Anyway, this might be the final peak through here. I'll let you know when I get down the mountain safely, and maybe we'll close out the video. I wanted to try and capture at least a little bit of creative footage over here. There wasn't a lot I was able to photograph as I was coming up. It gives me a little bit more options to video while I'm coming down here, even though it's kind of a little bit dangerous. But you can see that it's kind of it's not an easy thing to get through this. And this certainly isn't the way that I came up. So we'll find out what happens here. I bet you I'm going to end up in the spot. Sometimes you'll be going along in these little spots in here, and it'll be going your way and everything, and then all of a sudden there's just an extreme drop off, and you have to turn around and walk a mile back the other direction, you know? So anyway, that's been my experience. Okay, since I've taken my $200 anamorphic lens off of the camera here, I feel a little bit safer about filming as I'm going down. Look at the rock broken. Yikes. I didn't know I was that overweight. So this is what I'm up against. It's like you think that it's gonna get easier, and then look at that beautiful blue bird over there. I don't know if you can see her sitting there. She's ruffling her feathers. Sometimes there is just no easy way. Like right here, I'll probably have to put down the camera so that I can traverse here with my two hands. Made it. There's that nice Mr. Cactus right there. Look, there's like a heart shape. That was a Valentine cactus. We got these special varietal cactus out here in the foothills of Albuquerque called the St. Valentine cactus. I wanted to stop and kind of do a 360 of where I'm at in here. These little, built-in, God's little built-in wonder places right here. It's got to be beautiful when it's like raining, I imagine. Almost right now, I would probably welcome the rain. It's burning up a little bit here. I'm about halfway down, I think. You can see where I'm at, give or take. I'm about halfway down. And, still got a little ways to go till the bottom. Yeah, so like right here, it's kind of a difficult thing. Like, how am I gonna get through there? You know what I mean? You take a risk of sliding into some cactus. There's like a briar patch. When you get down there, the wind's blowing. Gosh, wish me luck on this one. Oh gosh, I almost forgot to mention these guys. They are treacherous. fall into that, I'll probably be dead. You know what I mean? It's a New Mexico yucca plant. Looks like our state plant over here. This is the other side. But if you fall into those, you're in a world of trouble too. So, maybe I ought to think about going a different way, huh? There's a big crevice down there. I wonder where that goes out to. I don't think I'm going to go in there. It's pretty scary. Oh, look at this baby. It's a little baby cactus. Look at that. His little baby brother too. Loved it. All right. I actually made it. I made it down there. I mean, whew. I don't want to, you know, it's not for really the faint of heart to go up there and all that. You can kind of see where I was. It was even farther than what you can see in the picture there. It's like twice as high because like the one hill hides another hill and you can't really see exactly where I was, but it was pretty darn high. There's this one lone bush. There's one and two lone bushes up there in the distance that you can kind of see, and that's about where that I was, just around that high, maybe not quite as high. Yeah, it took me forever to get down. It was rough. There was like little pitfalls and everything else that you'd go down into, and then you had to go down another one to get back down, and there was just one after the other chances that you had to take. It was kind of difficult. Probably easy for like a younger guy or whatever, but it's pretty difficult for me. Thirsty like crazy, so I'm gonna try and get a little bit more footage over here from ground zero or whatever the place. Songbirds are out here singing. Sounds very pretty. It's getting towards evening time now. Road closed. I do believe somebody was shooting at this sign. That's crazy. Crazy normal. No parking anytime. This way to home. This bridge over here is kind of neat to hang out at. Sooner or later, if you wait long enough, you'll see some kids like skateboarding over here. It's a world famous sort of skateboard park or skateboard haven. Skateboarders from around the world have been known to congregate over here to skate down this arroyo. It's kind of neat. I can see them off there in the distance now, really shooting a curl. This wave breaks all the time. It's pretty neat though. E-ball. It's pretty wild. This little area that I'm walking to is somewhat of a hidden park. Now, it's not the hidden park, which we'll travel to in one of these other videos. But I used to take my kids to go play in this park, and we'd have a lot of fun playing on this equipment. Plus, it was pretty secluded. You didn't have to worry about a lot of traffic coming through here and everything else. But ahead over here is kind of one of these bridges that run through Albuquerque. kind of like one that I showed you in another video. I wanted to take a walk up there and then take a look at traffic going over tramway and then just see what we could see, you know what I mean? Here's a little look at oncoming traffic coming down tramway. Oh, they're gonna get us. There's a little bit of graffiti. It's kind of a view of the bridge from over here on tramway, going this way. That pretty much ends the video for here. Had a pretty eventful day. I just wanted to come down to maybe a little area here that's familiar to me, this park that I lovingly refer to as the hidden park, even though it's really not so hidden. I hope everything's going okay for everybody out there. Hope you're keeping your spirits up, and I sure do love you guys. I hope you enjoy what's going on in these videos. Maybe this was a short or long one. I don't know. There's sure a lot of traffic now. It's coming back to hunt me. So I hope everything is going okay for everybody out there. I hope you're keeping your spirits up, and nothing but the best for you from my family to yours, and God bless you. If you like what you're seeing here, maybe subscribe if you like, and more videos are on the way. If not, that's okay too. But sure do appreciate you guys watching, and I hope I see you in the next one. Peace. Sometimes there's some pretty interesting things to see along the side of the road. Like this old tree.